principles of economics can be applied to situations and things we see and use in our everyday lives. Texas A&M University can be related to the economic principles, and by doing this we can better understand the basic principles of economics. The 5 principles we will be looking at today are: people face trade-offs, the cost of something is what you give up to get it, rational people think at the margin, people respond to incentives, and trade can make everyone better off. Texas A&M University reflects all of these principles, and by looking at the principles in a real-life situation, it will be easier to understand how these principles work. The first principle is that people face trade-offs. When I go to A&M, I'm giving up a considerable amount of money for tuition, fees, books, and room and board. We also have to look at the alternatives. Why would I pay this much when I could be going to a community college instead? So in order to go to A&M, I'm giving up money that I could save by going somewhere else. The trade-off is that I get an excellent education at a renowned school. After college, I will be equipped with a 4-year degree and an Aggie ring that is likely to impress many bosses and businesses I may decide to apply for a job with. The second principle is that the cost of something is what you give up to get it. While going to A&M, I could be working and making money. I could have a job at a local business or somewhere that only requires a high school degree. The same is true for when I'm actually at A&M. Instead of taking an extra class or being involved in a club, I could be working on campus or off campus and work to pay off my tuition. I could be making $7 or more an hour instead of spending $20,000 a year. I give up one of these in order to get the other. I could also be buying a car or a house and working a job instead of going there. By going to A&M, I am also giving up time and energy. If I'm in the honors program, my workload will be considerably more than someone who is not. Also, while I'm at A&M, I will have to make other choices, such as, should I study more or should I go to a party? There's only a certain amount of time to do everything. The third principle is that rational people think at the margin. You have to look at the marginal costs and the marginal benefits. After going to A&M, my salary will be higher than if I did not go to college and chose to just work instead. I will have a degree, and employers will be willing to pay me more. This is only true to a certain point, though. If I decide to go on to my doctorate, for example in veterinary sciences, something A&M is known for, then I'll be losing money. The amount I spent on my education will exceed the amount I could make with my career. Degrees are only economically beneficial up to the master's level. I will spend around $20,000 a year, not counting scholarships and loans, for 4 years at A&M. If I go there for 4 years, I will have spent around $80,000 on my education. If I become a teacher, I might make around $50,000 a year. Therefore, in 2 years working, I could make up or exceed what I spent on my education, bills and other expenses notwithstanding. The fourth principle is that people respond to incentives. I'm going to A&M because I have scholarships and tuition funds there for me. If I went to a private college in Florida, I would be paying considerably more. For example, I may pay $20,000 a year at A&M, but I may pay around $40,000 a year at Trinity University. Another incentive is that after college, especially a well-known one like A&M, I'll be able to have a good salary. Money is always an incentive, and when going to college, students typically look to be given free money in order to attend the school. The fifth principle is that trade can make everyone better off. At A&M University, there are individual colleges. For example, there is a College of Business and a College of Arts. The individual colleges specialize in their certain fields. They do not have to worry about other fields or classes because they trade courses with the other colleges. For example, the Dwight Look College of Engineering at A&M specializes in engineering. Students wanting to specialize in engineering still have to take other classes, for example, English, but the engineering college does not offer these courses. The student will have to go to a class offered by another college to complete requirements. The trading of courses allows each individual college to specialize and focus on its area of expertise. Texas A&M University can be analyzed in terms of the economic principles, people face trade-offs, the cost of something is what you give up to get it, rational people think at the margin, people respond to incentives, and trade can make everyone better off. By applying these principles to A&M, we can better understand what they are. It is hard to just look at a textbook and memorize the principles, but it becomes easy when these principles are applied to a real-life situation.